Okay, folks, let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call this meeting to order, and is there any amendments to the agenda tonight?
No, sir, none for me tonight.
Approve the minutes of July 17th and August 5th. Do I have a motion?
I would make a motion to approve the minutes both from July 17th and August 5th.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
How about department head reports?
We'll start out with a thank you today. Our Lady of $7 thanks the town for allowing them to do the coin drop. They did pretty good. I think they made about $1,000. They said to help, and they're going to roll that in helping the community. So they sent a nice card if you want to see that. They said thank you. We also got a thank you from somebody who lost their wallet back in early August. They wanted to thank Shane Carvey for his patience and his empathy. He really took care of a young lady that had lost that, and she ended up finding her wallet. So thank you to Shane for being understanding of her plight. Seal says thank you to the town and Public Works who supplied the signs and barrels and stuff for her coin drop. They also did the coin drop. They did pretty well for Castleton Community Center, so they thank us. Moving on to the police department. 7 arrests over the last 2 weeks. There were 118 traffic or municipal violations, 56 written warnings, only 2 car crashes, 1 overweight permit, and 13 sets of civilian fingerprints. Moving on to my office and the rest of the crowd, rest of the departments. September 9th is the magic day when they start the construction out here for that, what would you call it? Stormwater project, where we're collecting the stormwater and putting it into the ground over here. So September 9th, they're gonna make the road cut across North Main. So we can expect that. Mowing, the guys have been out hitting mowing as best they can as they move to their new facility. They were on South Main last week. They did hit Airport Road pretty good. They knocked that back, and they're still going around town. So thank you everybody for your patience. We are short-staffed and there's a lot to do, but they're picking away at it. The water department and Public Works have been just inundated with water digs. We've had holes in lines, we've had to replace curb stops, we've had mains break. So you'll see them around, and you've probably seen on Facebook the boil water notices. Something about the last 2-3 weeks, it's been one after another. So they've been doing a good job keeping up with that. Last Thursday was Fred Capron's last official concert that he hosted. We presented a plaque to Fred thanking him for his 16 years of service. And I'd like to take another moment and thank Fred for his service. He was always a pleasure to work with, and he really enjoyed working at the concerts. He did a wonderful job and grew it from 0 people to sometimes more than 1,000 people in attendance. So nice job, Fred. Thank you. Scotch Hill, I actually got a call about this today. People are anxious to get that done. Grinding Scotch Hill Road will begin at the end of this month. They said they would start paving about the middle of September. We're not going much beyond that. It's going to start to get cold, and I don't pave in the winter, so they're butting right up against the end of the season.
They're going to start grinding the beginning of September. Did you say?
End of August.
End of August, early September.
End of August. Okay.
I did confirm with the auditor that they will be here next week, the 26th to the 28th. We're starting the fiscal year 25 audit. Our goal is to get that done in November, so that way the auditor can come and talk to the board in a timely manner. I'm not sure if I mentioned this the last time or not, but I'll mention it again if I had. So all the air conditioners are in operation in the town hall except for the big gathering space upstairs. That unit's in, and they're putting in duct work right now. The outdoor units are there, and they're slowly picking away at it. So that project's coming along. I did find a young man who just moved to town who's interested in doing the ceiling repair and then the deck out back. So I'm waiting on a quote from him for those things. The salt shed at the new facility's been laid out and that construction has started. Last I heard they were 2 blocks high in construction, so that's chugging right along. And lastly, I'm working with the library. They have part of the wall that needs to be repointed and some sections that need to be repaired, some stonework repair. So I'm working with them to get a grant to help with that. The estimate they have is anywhere between 90, I think it was 90 and 100 and a quarter for the work. Yeah, it's a lot, so we're working with them on that.
Are you saying 90,000 to 125,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Holy cow.
May I ask, Joe, is there a particular grant that you have your eye on?
It's the state Vermont, let me think, it's the state of Vermont Historic Preservation Grant, which it caps out at 20. And it's a 50-50 split, but that gets us 40 and it heads us in the right direction. In your package, you'll have that piece of paper right there. That's I think it's the 2023. It's the 2024 crash data for downtown Fairhaven. If you look, there are quite a few crashes right downtown, so be careful when you're out there.
Right where?
Downtown Fairhaven, like right downtown.
Interesting.
Let's see, it's Tuesdays and Fridays seem to be your high points, so be careful out there. And let me think. And this is the last thing for me. Tyler Technologies, the board approved this company to do the reappraisal. They haven't provided me with a reasonable answer to how they're going to address how they're going to get into the homes in Fairhaven to make the assessment. If you recall, they had trouble in Castleton, and I wasn't happy with their answer. So I would, at the next meeting, I'd like the board to consider maybe reviewing the other bids and going with a different company. So if the board doesn't mind, I'll put that on the next agenda.
Okay.
I'd like to discuss it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the board decision. And that's what the manager has today.
Downtown Fairhaven, have you heard from the paving on that? Are they getting close to patching that back in?
They told me the middle of this month.
We got quite a few people inquiring about that every day.
I'm sure. The best I can say is coming. I can talk to the contractor again. It's hard to pin down, so the contractor's waiting on a contractor is what it boils down to.
Any questions for the manager? Any questions on any of the reports?
Do we know how our rate of car crashes per capita compares to other towns across the state?
I can't give you that number, but I can tell you that downtown Fairhaven is considered a high crash zone within the state of Vermont.
Okay.
22A as a whole,
22A.
and that's when they give out money for highway safety. And that's one of the target areas is to reduce traffic accident speed, aggressive driving. So just statistically, 22A as a corridor is a higher crash zone around the state.
Interesting. Thank you, Chief.
Chief, I didn't see you back there.
You snuck in on us.
I did.
Finance, the police.
Don't forget to sign in.
Well, I guess we move on to, is there any questions anybody have any questions on the report so far? Okay, we'll move on to old business. the water and sewer electronic invoice incentive.
Yeah, so this is something that came up a few meetings ago. The staff is interested in moving more to an electronic invoice system. We wanted to incentivize our residents to receiving the electronic invoice in their email. So we're still proposing a $5 one-time rebate to incentivize people to take that electronic invoice.
Any thoughts on that?
I wonder if any, in the intervening weeks, if you've considered some of the discussion that we had around the incentive and the structure of it, and or if we're just approaching it the same way.
So I did consider what the board said about the $1 or the $5, and then will the $1 incentivize people to keep going with this electronic bill because it's $1 each month or each quarter? No, I haven't changed my position.
Okay.
$1 each quarter is going to become very cumbersome to track.
Okay.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to do it that way for us. We're trying to reduce effort, not increase.
Okay. To my mind, ultimately, the administrative burden for managing that incentive program falls to you, falls to your staff. To me, there is perhaps, I wonder if it might be less work in the long run with a recurring incentive than a one-time incentive, but if ultimately it's your call, and I'm in favor of incentivizing the electronic bills. So, do you all have any thoughts?
No, I kind of agree with you. I think the, quarter of the dollar off. I don't think with the technology we have available today it'd be that hard to track, but at the end of the day, I am in favor of going electronic.
It's information I've been gathering. The one time would be the easiest all around to keep track of it, but I'm not an expert on this, so. But that's what I've been gathering from some of the folks.
If the board was interested in doing this, we would just need a vote, and then, all three of you will have to support it for it to pass. You need a motion.
So you're saying $5, right? Incentive initially, right?
That would be a first time fee, and that would be it. It'd be a first time fee reduction of $5. It's my understanding.
Right. Or you don't have to do it.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's do it, Mike.
No.
Come on.
No, I like the $1 a quarter. But I don't like the $5 up front, and then that's it.
You have to make that motion then. I might disagree with you, but at the end of the day, you're the boss.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we go to electronic invoice with $1 a quarter incentive.
What's your heart?
Don't want to come to a standstill. Could we table this until there are more members of the board present?
Yeah?
Okay.
Is that what everybody wants to do?
And so I'm okay with that.
Okay, then I rescind my motion then.
Can I just
Wanna have
have
some,
bigger fish to fry? And like, to me, this is a no-brainer. Like, if you want to convert, convert. If you don't, don't. But you get incentivized. If you do, great, let's do it. Let's move on to bigger issues. Like, it doesn't really matter if it's 5 or 1
Thank you for your opinion,
Well,
Laura. I appreciate
the reason I'm doing one is I had a conversation. I had staff reach out to me, and they'd rather see $1 a quarter than the $5. So
Why?
Why, $1 a quarter is not gonna.
We did litigate this point at a previous meeting. We
Yeah.
could reiterate the perspective, but I value your opinion, and I don't want to sit here across the table from you and tell you all the ways that I
Yeah.
disagree with you on this point. But I think
I was at that meeting, so, yeah. All right.
Okay, we're moving on. Junk ordinance, the third review, I think probably is anyone here for the ordinances tonight? Good. And we have a blight property ordinance, first discussion. That's rundown properties, rundown houses, bad kept.
we're on the junk one, right? For the third review.
Yeah.
So I wasn't at the meeting when the first discussion came up. The second one, and I took it home and I looked at it, and it seems like the changes that I wanted to see had been made. But the one was it section F? So I see that we removed to the grass and weeds from C. But I'd also like to. So if you're removing that, I'd also like to see. In F, you're talking. You can have, shall be screened from public view by fence or vegetation. Well, that's. So you're essentially, I could let my grass grow 10 feet tall, and it's hiding the junk. So I'd like to see all vegetation removed from the ordinance.
That's under new F.
Yeah, new F. Yeah, it's like halfway. It's all areas used by such permitted or authorized business for storage of junk and or motor vehicle shall be screened from public view by a fence or vegetation, at least 8 feet in high. So, I could let weeds, burdock, whatever grow 10 feet high, or 8 feet high, and that's technically,
Is that the junk ordinance one?
yeah.
I think it was designed to be shrubbery.
Well, it doesn't. It just says vegetation, so that's that's a gray area. What's your definition of my definition of vegetation could be completely different. So where do you draw the line? So. But other than that, that's my only other.
Should I strike that whole sentence?
Yes, I would.
so we're in Article 2F, is it?
Yeah.
Any vegetation used for screening.
Yeah.
Okay, all areas used by such permitted or authorized business for fence or vegetation at least.
I would have to have legal look at that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Well, right, and like she said, you could vegetation to me, that's, what's the definition of vegetation?
yeah, I think it's meant for being a screen to hide stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it actually was put in there for.
Well, it says fence or vegetation. So if you're gonna remove, grass and stuff like that, then I'd like to at least say fence. Fine, I'm fine with a fence going up. Fence is easy, but when you're talking vegetation, are you shrubs? Are you, can I sunflowers? That's seasonal. So
You just want me to take out vegetation?
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm fine with fence. Leaving fence there. Just take out vegetation. But other than that, that's everything else. At least for me, is I'm okay with the changes.
Any vegetation used for screening shall be sufficient density so that it effectively screens the storage area from view. I don't know. But we are comfortable with bushes or
Yeah.
something similar being used for a fence. So I would say one of two things should probably happen. Shrubbery to me does seem like a more specific term than vegetation that leaves less room for ambiguity, so we consider replacing it with shrubbery. Or we just write in a definition for vegetation that explicitly says what it is we mean when we say it. I would say,
Shrubbery, hedgerow.
yeah, exactly.
Right, because then like you wanted more definitions and stuff. So like to me,
Yeah.
that's like what I saw as like, well, there's a gray area again. So that's like,
Yeah.
if we want more, that's what we're looking for. I think is more teeth behind this. So like, we can play that gray area all day long, and then who's right? So either
Yeah.
remove it or put in a definition of what
Yeah.
we mean by vegetation.
Yeah. And that would be my preferred approach. Anytime an ordinance is being changed, if we are adding a word wherever the word occurs, it should be pretty clear what it is, or we add the definition and just use that as the
I'm good with shrubbery.
bar.
Yeah, I'm fine with shrubs too. It's
Okay.
that's all I've got.
Could we say trees or shrubbery?
I will not write again until you tell me for sure. You can say whatever you want, but I'm sorry to wear a hole through.
Is there anything else you wanna question?
I would hesitate to add trees
Mm.
because you could put small maple trees around it. It's not gonna hide.
Well, that's
I would stick
where
with
there's
shrubbery.
already a word that says any vegetation used for screening shall be of sufficient density so that it effectively screens the storage area of view.
Okay. I haven't seen that,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, understandable.
Anybody else wanna comment? Do I hear a motion to accept this ordinance
With trees and shrubs.
with trees and shrubs?
Can I would like to just enumerate one other point of a desire of mine for the future where ordinances are concerned. So this redlined version that we're looking at, when this goes to the public review period, which I believe is 45 days, is that correct, Joe? Do you know?
I think it's 60.
Is it 60 days? My preference would be that the version being presented to the public for review would very clearly show the original standing ordinance and its language compared with the most current version that we intend to enact. So while this redline version is, our last revision versus our current revision, it's not actually the original ordinance versus the new ordinance. And while you can present those two documents side by side, I think that makes it slightly more difficult for an individual to review than having the original language with the new language in its place, like within the same document, if you know what I'm saying. So new passages would be underlined, excised passages would be crossed out. And so, for example, there are still changes that have been made in this new ordinance that I don't know that we've ever explicitly stated on the record during our conversations about this ordinance during this meeting, because we've been focusing on certain passages. But for example, the addition of the word store to the list of prohibited treatment of junk is one new change. The language about where the junk can and cannot be visible from, which I know we've discussed in the past, the original ordinance states that it has to be, or it cannot be visible from a portion of a neighbor's property that is used on a regular basis, and that was the threshold that needed to be cleared in order for the junk to be in violation of the ordinance. We have now changed that to any portion of the neighbor's property. Is that still correct, Joe?
Correct.
So like just those things, when we were first introduced this ordinance, we had a general summary presented by Glenn, which was useful, but did not number by number, line by line say these are specifically what all of the changes are. And I just would prefer that when we introduce a new ordinance that be our approach, that we be very explicit about what the changes are so that it can be entered into the public record. And that's all. But this is ultimately going to go to the public to review, and so there's plenty of time for people to scrutinize it. But that's my request for the future. But otherwise, I appreciate the time that you've spent on this, Joe, in the revisions that we've discussed and requested, and I think it stands in a better place than it did a couple of meetings ago. So I appreciate that.
So I will entertain a motion to pass this.
I will second that motion.
No, I didn't get a motion.
Oh,
yet.
sorry. I will motion to pass this new ordinance.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Isn't it to approve it as amended or just plain
As-
approve it as presented?
Approve it as amended with the changes to the language that Michael Dorn requested, the round vegetation, which I think was to change the word from vegetation to shrubbery. That's what we all agreed on.
Now it goes to the public. They can hash it over, right?
They have, 60 days to
Yep.
get a petition up to stop it. So I will create a clean copy and have the board sign.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
To the next meeting.
Yeah, later today, we'll see.
All right, if it's all right with everybody, I'd like to skip over that park ordinance to the next meeting.
Yeah. My sense was there isn't any changes to be presented. We were just going to.
It's just a first review.
Oh, is it? Do you mean the public nuisance ordinance or the park ordinance?
Well, the public nuisance ordinance.
Oh, okay.
Also.
Okay.
You were, though, for your upcoming food truck festival, though, where you're planning on doing the beer garden, is that within that zone? So you're outside of the.
No, we took feedback from the community and we moved it out of that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
We took it away from the concerts and.
Yeah, and for you that aren't aware, this is my last meeting. I will be resigning due to personal reasons, job related. I would just like to see, not to completely change the ordinance, but the board, to take in consideration during special events to allow the sale of alcohol in the park. I think, there's one vendor that reached out that had a very detailed plan in place. So just keep an open mind when you guys review this. It seems like Joe got a couple of local, winery and the brewery involved in this go around. So you're supporting local businesses. And I know there's been board members that have been hesitant saying that we're taking business away from them. The first event we had like 500 people. So I think we could definitely grow it. So don't completely shoot this down. It's just my only request.
Okay, when is that upcoming food truck frenzy, the next one?
September 3rd.
September 3rd?
We wouldn't be able to change the ordinance in that amount of time anyway.
Right.
It's a 60-day waiting, curing period, so
Right.
it's not like it would happen.
Right, but it'd be nice to have something in place for next year. I think this can be a thing that continues here in town, and I hope it does, because a lot of people seem to enjoy it.
Agreed. Okay, I guess we're gonna move on to new business then.
What about the junk ordinance?
That's what we just,
Oh, we just motioned to approve the new language in the junk ordinance.
yeah.
That was,
I'm sorry, I totally missed that.
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. And then we're tabling the blighted property ordinance and the discussion of the park ordinance until next week or next meeting.
right,
Okay, the blighted property is tabled.
That's a
Got it.
separate ordinance.
so we're moving on to new business, we got a SWAC representative,
Yeah.
alternate.
Yep, I'll make a motion to appoint Sam Lucy as the alternate representative SWAC, the Solid Waste Alliance Communities.
Am I allowed to vote on my own appointment?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you get any financial gain from this at all.
I don't believe I do either.
There's no compensation for it.
Need a second.
Do I have a second?
Oh, and I can second it as well. I will second the motion to appoint myself to the SWAC board as an alternate representative.
Beautiful.
Okay, we have a second, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And this one you have to sign.
Okay, appointment to the ZBA.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Is that good there? Okay. All right. Did we have someone step up for an appointment to the ZBA?
Yep. Had two people step up.
You signed-
We did?
you signed
Oh,
the
I'm
paper
sorry.
there.
Ah, I see. All right. I will motion to appoint Paul Jardine to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for the remainder of Cindy Adams' term, expiring March 2027.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will also motion to appoint James Lynch to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as an alternate for a term expiring March 2027.
I'll second that also.
Have a motion on the floor and a second for James Lynch to be alternate. All in favor?
Aye.
We have a liquor license approval.
So, can I take this one?
Yeah.
So, these permits allow the businesses to sell alcohol at the beer garden during the food truck frenzy. So this is one-time occasion. Make a motion to approve a one-time occasion permit to Fall Mountain Wines LLC.
After I second the motion, there's time for discussion, yes? Is
Yes.
that correct? I will second the motion to approve a one-time occasion permit to Fall Mountain Wines LLC. Now we discuss? Okay. So, in contrast to what we've been discussing in prior weeks, our intention, just for anyone in the room who doesn't know, or for anyone who might watch later after the fact, is not that these will be served in the park or within the boundaries of what's considered park, correct? They will be in a cordoned off area of the parking across the street from the park, if I understand correctly. Is that
It will be on private property across the street.
okay? Can we be more specific about the private property in question?
In front of the yoga studio.
Okay. And which portion of the property do we mean when we say private property?
The front.
Okay. Do we mean the sidewalk? Do we mean?
Just the other side of the sidewalk on the private property portion. So there's a big paved concrete area there that some people
Okay.
just assume that is town property.
Okay.
It is not. We just went through deed research when we were gonna do all the sidewalks that the town voted not to do.
Okay.
That was gonna be one of the sections that we repaved, that we aren't repaving now. That's private property.
Okay.
How big an area is that?
It is a 40 by 17, 40 long by 17 in, something like that.
And this is gonna have three different, if they're all approved, three different?
2, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, the brewery didn't get theirs in time. Scotch Hill didn't, it didn't come in.
Did you see the fee on that?
It's $250.
For a one-time,
Yeah,
it used to be $25.
no, it's $250.
But if I remember correctly from my days as a bartender, I think, do you already have your caterer's license as an establishment?
I mean, we can serve food, and these, no, we don't have anything outside.
If I remember correctly, there's a sort of standing license that you apply for that allows you to then apply for individual catering permits, which are they're cheaper. So if you're going to be doing it more frequently, you pay a slightly bigger fee up front to pay a smaller fee each time that you apply for a one-time catering license. And I'm probably, these terms are so similar, I'm not sure that I'm using the correct term, but I would be happy to discuss this after and get my facts straight so that we can go over it.
Yeah, I know.
But I think there's a way to do it where it isn't $250 for each individual event. I think you can get it down to something like $50.
We have alcohol vendors at like all the markets around, and they don't pay. every
Farmers
time.
markets, they
Yeah.
pay a one-time fee of $70
Right.
to do a special event fee where we're serving a full pour. The cost is $250.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Are you from
I'm from Mountain Wines.
Mountain Wines? I apologize.
So, if I do a tasting event, it's $125 each time. It's $250 each time if I do a full pour.
Okay.
So, I appreciate the opportunity, but it's a gamble. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not a big business by any means, and I may use this opportunity to enhance my visibility, but I'm nervous about it. You know, and when you're talking a 40 by 17 foot place where somebody can have a glass of, you know, you're not gonna get a lot of people into that area for 2 vendors to allow me to really make any money.
Is that a state regulated?
Yeah, where did the fee come from? 'Cause this is
That's just the state.
It's state.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay. So that's
It's not something we have any control over.
okay.
obviously.
All right, wasn't sure.
Yeah. So you're stating this more as a statement of fact than anything.
More of a statement of fact, and the fact that you're ruling out, you know, you're taking the park out of it, kind of hinders my ability to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Were you not aware that we weren't going to be operating this event in the park?
I knew that where my location was, but you're not permitting anybody to even.
Do you know why that is? I'm not sure how closely you've been following this discussion over the last few meetings.
I understand the idea of alcohol in the park, and
The ordinance prohibits it. Yeah. And we would have to change the ordinance in order to allow for any drinking.
And I think this is coming up recently just because
Yeah.
of the first food truck event and the need and the want for people to do something in town. So this is all kind of new territory for the board and the town. So, I mean, to look at it, changing it. So I think, yeah, that 40 by 17 is a little scary, when you have 2 vendors in there, but hopefully, moving forward, I encourage you and any other business in town that, wants to be a part of these that sell alcohol to come to these meetings and, really question your board members. They work for you.
Yeah.
We work for you, So, be vocal about it, I mean, I know you're up on Scotch Hill, so be in town.
I don't think most of the town knows I am, but.
Right. Well, right. So this would increase your visibility,
Yeah.
right? Get your name out there more. I don't know why.
No, I may, like I said, I think this is an opportunity maybe to put my face in town, but,
It is $250 is scary, right? When how many glasses of
yeah,
wine?
you had 500 people, and granted, 500 people aren't gonna partake in
Right.
wine, and let's hope they're not all of legal age, because you want a mix of people. Right?
Sure.
But, it's not something that I'm even 100%, you approve me, yeah, I still have to pay the fee to the state after I'm approved.
Is there, Joe, moving forward? Like, I know that's a state, and there's probably no way around that for the town to set anything after
No.
that, right?
No.
State sets those fees.
That's right.
That's insane.
And I can talk to the state about, I could be in a farmer's market for $70 a year, which is just ridiculous when,
Right.
yeah.
Are those full glass pours on the farmer's market?
No, no.
No,
They
they're
do
little, they do
just
tastings,
samples,
yeah.
yeah.
Is it
But
half
still
an ounce?
$70 for a year is pretty,
Yeah.
1 ounce pour.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's every
But you
Saturday.
can do, I don't know, I think it's up to 6 1-ounce pours, so.
Just to keep the conversation tailored to the agenda item, and I apologize, I'd like to have this discussion at length. But I wanted to be clear that you're clear on what you've applied for, what we're approving. There's no.
Yeah, I'm not out any money at this point, no.
Alright,
Okay.
so-
Okay.
So-
So you're comfortable proceeding with the application
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
those conditions. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you
So-
didn't come in
so
here
that-
feeling like you had something that
No, I was clear about where I would be,
Okay.
yeah.
So that being said, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Are we in favor?
I did want to ask a couple more.
Well, we have another motion too. And I would say
No, I
that-
know. So I'd like to front end this, or front load it rather. So the other thing I wanted to mention were the sort of concerns about serving alcohol in public spaces, quote unquote public spaces. I understand this is going to be a private space, technically owned by the business owner. But still in a place that many consider part of the public square in a sense. And many have expressed concern that this is sort of culturally incongruous with Fairhaven and its values and how we generally conduct ourselves in public. And I think there's a good faith discussion to be had on both sides there. So I wanted to just, on the record, and for anyone watching at home, just pay some acknowledgement to that point of view, that perspective, because I think it's valid. And just say that, would you like to speak, Rose? I'm sorry.
When you're
Yeah,
done.
when I'm done. Okay. Sorry. And that toward that end, I would like to see more folks come and talk about this matter at the select board meetings and to come and find me personally if they'd like to talk about it more. But as it stands, we are only approving the liquor license to serve on a business's property in reality, and so that's all we're discussing. No, yes, Joe, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. And then just to say that the other concern that I've heard a lot of revolves around public safety, which I'm glad Chief Humphreys is here in the room today and perhaps can just speak to this. But my understanding at this point in time is that there will be some police presence at the event. Is that still intended to be the
We
case?
even have our own food event we're debating, so there will be.
Okay. Okay. And I think that
put
was.
people on for concerts in the park, so obviously, I have no issue with it. Once it was explained at the last meeting, even if it was in the park, it was in a designated area.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to control. It's no different than when John had it out and they were using the outdoor seating area. It was controlled in that area.
Yeah.
We never had any complaints.
Yeah.
And what they're selling is not, somebody's not coming and buying 10 beers at $6 a draft. It's just not. They're
Yeah.
coming in, they wanna try John's beer, they wanna try his wine, and it's an opportunity, and then they go home. It's not an alcohol festival, I guess, where people are, we're not gonna,
Right.
we don't experience high volume intoxication in the public.
So however the event turns out, and however events may be managed in the future, and I'm sure we'll be discussing this more in coming weeks, the thing that I would like to be able to say to assuage anyone's concerns where public safety is involved is that we have, spoken, consulted law enforcement. You, Chief Humphreys, have put my mind at ease that there will be a police presence and that public safety is going to be taken very seriously. And I hope that for anyone who shares that concern, that will hopefully put their mind at ease as it has mine. So thank you for speaking to that. That's all.
So
You had one quick thing?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is it possible, because this is going to be set up right next to the dojo, have you talked with Karen?
Yeah, she fully supports it.
Okay, I was just wondering about the kids, right?
There's not gonna be
There's
any
no
kids there
at that time.
after 5.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, really
Alright,
what
so-
this boils down to is just equal opportunity for all legitimate business people. These people, their product happens to be alcohol, but we also have a gun store in town, we have a liquor store in town, we have a whole variety of businesses that we could morally debate. Diabetes is really high on the health issue, so that would be like every sugar product that's sold. But this isn't a moral debate. They have the right to sell their products, just like the hot dog person and the creamy person. They have licensing, insurance, they're legitimate businesses. This isn't like walking around with Mad Dog in a brown paper bag. It's a Wednesday night.
Right, and for me personally, that was not the case. You know, the legit businesses here in town, right? Like they're not out to cause any
Right.
issue. So like, you know, for the people that think that that's what's gonna happen, it's
Right.
not, because they live here too. They don't want to see
Exactly.
Right.
things
And
get out of hand.
It's not fair.
You know,
I mean,
and-
last week I tried to support John during the concerts and there was one customer in there.
Right.
You know, so it's not fair. Everyone says they want to help the downtown businesses and support them, but there's a huge pushback on who we're going to pick and choose to support. And every single person has the right. Anne has the right to sell her products, whether you would purchase them or not. And just like Joe and John and everybody has equal rights to, if they're a legitimate business person, which all of these people are, and people can choose to support them or not, but they have the right to be there.
All right, so getting back to the subject here, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I've got another one too. Make a motion to approve a caterer permit to Fairly Buzzed LLC. This is for the same event.
I will second the motion to approve a caterer permit to Fairly Buzzed LLC for the beer garden at the Food Truck Frenzy.
Do we have any discussion on this? It's basically all discussed already.
Can I ask one question?
Sure
Chief,
can.
maybe you can. So this 40 by 17, I'm legally responsible to make sure the person's of age. Where does my liability lie, other than not serving them beyond the limit, but in that area?
I think that whoever is set up there would have some type of responsibility, that they see somebody walking out of that area, that they say, hey, you gotta come
You
back.
gotta come back.
Because I can't, unless, do you want a
Right.
dedicated guy standing right there the whole time? I think that might be detrimental to
Yeah.
what they're doing.
In the same way that a bartender would be obligated to do so for someone walking out of their front door with an
You
open
know, and
container.
if they left, that would be a point where, hey, can you send somebody over here? You know, if they walked down with my glass or whatever you have.
Okay.
We need a bouncer.
So, and I haven't had a chance to really talk with you, but I've emailed, talked a little bit with Fairly Buzz, and they've got a plan in place to bring in a bouncer if necessary. So, you know, at least one of the vendors has a plan in place, so I'm sure being in that space, the bouncer can kind of keep an eye on.
Okay.
It sounded like you said they have a plan in place if needed. So
Well,
that
well-
doesn't sound like confirmation that they
But
are.
they do have a plan in place.
They will be bringing a bouncer.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say that they would be if we don't know for sure that they would be.
But we could have something that beverage has to be consumed on.
Within the
Within
area.
this,
If you
yeah.
put up, each vendor has a sign up that this has to be consumed within the
this
roped-in area, however you
Okay.
choose to do it, or fenced in, or.
All right, I have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I think, go ahead, Joe.
So this has generated a lot of conversation.
Yes, it has.
I think we forgot that we have had 2 of these events already in this town. Much bigger than this, with many more vendors than this that were selling alcohol. We didn't have a bouncer, people didn't get drunk. Some of the selectmen came down and had a beer and listened to the guy playing the guitar. I hear the concern, but the concern at this point is very unfounded because we've done this and we've controlled it. It's just what it is. Like we've had success in this area, and I don't understand where the concern is coming this time, when the other times were very successful. So, and that's my
I was
statement.
just wondering about with the kids coming out of the dojo, if you guys are gonna be
Let's,
5
let's,
o'clock I have no problem with it.
Thanks for your point, Joe.
Thank you. I think it's been a few years, so people forgot that we did something similar around the corner.
Yeah, it was around.
We used to have events there a couple summers in a row. We had successful touch a truck, we did police car show, we did Joe's event, and it's,
Magic
I
shows.
think it was all good for downtown.
And I think
In my opinion, we need a lot more of this. The business people need it, the community needs it. Really do.
Right,
And
so,
I fully support it.
right, so that's why, like, you, the business owners, you guys are the voice, right? Come in here and really press the board, you know, we can really make this a continuous thing. It'd be nice, you know, for you to come down, you know, next year, once a month, do something like this. You know, it'd probably be huge, you know, for you guys. So, yeah, make sure you stay on, you know, in the loop with this and really press your board members and stuff like that, because this is our town, right? We can be as successful as we want to be, or we can, you know, let the town go to the wayside.
Yep.
You know, so like Rich said, the town really needs this. I think, you know, I think this is a step in the right direction. So stay on top of them.
Is anybody else got anything more on this topic? If not, I'd like to go to 2 minutes for public comment.
Just hypothetically, if John didn't get his paperwork in time, could you do a preliminary approval of his permit pending submission of his paperwork? Just because he is right on Main Street, and if he chose to be able to showcase that.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the
Not putting him on
legality is.
spot, but he may,
There's one more board meeting between now and then.
Okay.
You have one more meeting?
So we could do it next meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else for public comment? Yes.
I just wanted to say that, because I wasn't here at the last meeting, so I didn't get a chance to say that, one, I think the last food truck frenzy was great. It really, I saw people that I haven't seen in years, and it was awesome.
That's nice.
So, I'm really looking forward to the next one. Two, I wanted to just say, Mike, we're gonna miss you. Is it?
Anyone else for public comment? Everybody's pretty quiet tonight.
We don't wanna give you too hard of a time.
Okay.
We'll wait for Glenn to get back.
There you go. Save it up for him.
Thanks, folks, for coming.
Thanks for coming in.
If you need somebody to say something, I'll say something.
Go for it.
Mike Pavlik, EDC, I'm on the EDC with Laura, and now you. This is something that we've been talking about in EDC to gin up business for Fairhaven, and I love craft beer, and I've been working on doing a beer festival. Because if you were at the Vermont Beer Festival up in Burlington.
I was.
2 weeks ago, 10,000 people, the hotels were $600 a night. I mean, it was incredible. No problems whatsoever, like you said, because it's craft beer and everybody's a snob. But it was absolutely just, you know, one of those sort of events that it appeals to a specific group of people. Got it, it's not for everybody, but that's one of the things that Vermont is super famous for is craft beer. And it was a lot of fun, and it was really expensive, and it was fantastic. So one of the things that Laura and Joe and I have been talking about since I moved here is trying to see if we can't put something like that together. And then Joe said, well, we have the park ordinance and for the green, and so trying to work out all these specifics, but thank you for saying your encouraging words, because it's like, yeah, I'd like to get an exception, even if it's just a once a year exception, to do a big, huge craft beer festival over, you know, in our town.
Right. So. My thing is, you know, you can go to Glens Falls, you can go to Burlington, but why do I want to travel when we have the perfect setup right here? We have the most beautiful park in the entire state that doesn't get used at all. And then you have, you know, I hate to say it, the old way of thinking, people don't want any change in town, but it's like, you've got to do something. You've got to bring it in. And, you know, that first food truck festival, bringing 500 people in, That might not seem like a lot to compare to other events, but that's huge for this town. And people are excited about it.
Yes.
You know, so keep at it. Really, really do. You know, you guys have the power to, really press them, change these ordinances.
Working on it.
But also, in my 27, 28 years of working here, I've seen summers where the parks were utilized every weekend. There was some type of different event, from a car show to Connie Rooker put on something in the park, and I can't remember what it was, but I think it generates a sense of community, not
Right.
just for what you're bringing from the outside, but it's people that are happy and they want to live here because there's stuff going on and there's events. I think it just brings an overall happiness to the overall community. Because again, 28 years, I've seen the highs and I've seen the lows, and those summers where there's a carnival in the park, or honestly, I'm just thinking stuff outside of the box that I remember. They may not make money, but people come out and they get that.
Right. Right. Not everything's got to be a money maker, right?
Yeah.
You got to give people something to enjoy,
It's
And
true.
it-
Chief Humphreys is right. Like we're open till 7 on Wednesdays, but everybody's excited. They're like, oh, we get to go have dinner afterwards in the park, with the food truck frenzy. And my experience physically being in these meetings and also watching them back later on TV is that the most fighting that occurs is in this room. It's not out there. Like the businesses, they're collaborating. Karen and I at the dojo, we're constantly supporting each other and helping each other out. And Ann and John at the brewery, like the level of collaboration is out there. There's no fighting.
It's got to come in here. I've been on the board a year and a half, and most nights this room's empty. Like you've got to come in here. We can only do so much, and I think we need your input. We need the voters' input, and we don't get it. I mean, you can post it on social media and stuff, but we don't pay attention to that.
Right.
This is we don't. Joe doesn't monitor it. Nobody. You've got to come here and you've got a voice, or reach out to your board members and be like, "This is what we want." If you don't want to come here, but you gotta, because unless you tell us, we don't know what's going on out there.
Yeah. Definitely, we're creating as much positive momentum as
Right.
possible,
Trying to see how we can incorporate everybody to get more people downtown,
Right.
Right.
but with all the businesses working together.
And Ann's amazing because she's connected to the Rutland Farmers Market, so she's a big part of pulling in all these people to support us. And we've spent hours mapping it out in the park where every business is mapped in a balanced way, so no one's feeling like they're having to compete right up against each other. And I mean, you're right. We have the most beautiful park, the most beautiful town.
And we're gonna have half of it filled
Yeah,
on the third. half
30
of it.
vendors.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
I wish I could.
It's gonna
be
be
there.
great. Pottery and leather and produce and flowers. It's
And
gonna
tallow.
be amazing.
Don't
Yeah,
forget the towel.
exactly.
You're making the town manager happy. Stop that.
Pretty bummed.
He
you.
might cry, and I don't want to see that on my last time.
I'm holding back.
Well,
Well, I went to the Friends.
thank you
and
for your
It was so
comments.
much fun just walking around, seeing
Appreciate it.
everybody, talking to everybody. It's like a utopia.
And there's people coming from Rutland and everywhere else. Right?
One more thing. Just one more quick thing, and it's basically, it has to do with all of this. My daughter's boyfriend lives just outside of Brandon. His family is very involved in Brandon and all their events, and it would be fantastic if Fairhaven could start doing more events. Brandon is, I can't get over all the things that they do.
Yeah.
So,
I can put you in contact with somebody that was on, back in the day that got a lot of that going. It's my mother-in-law.
I mean, I'm really happy to see stuff like this going, and I'm really happy that the upstairs is going to be open soon. And
And the feedback goes far and wide. I have a retiree that her and her family just moved here from North Carolina, and she happened to be there the night of the last concert. And it was just one of those things where we walk out and it's just a glow and it's packed full of people, and she's just, I've never seen anything like this. Like, it's amazing. And she's from far away, and so when you hear those perspectives, it's inspiring and exciting.
Good. We need to keep it going,
Yes.
okay? Something else, Joe?
Yeah, I'm sorry to prolong this. But to Rose's point though, so if we look at the concerts, it's what, we have 8 or 10 volunteers. A couple people get paid, but it's all volunteers.
We need more.
It's more than 10.
Is it, so more than 10 volunteers, even just the food truck frenzy, we got what, six people trying to organize this? Big events, we hosted the governor, and I had almost all of my staff there to manage it. These events don't just happen. It actually takes 6 to 10 people to organize it, and sometimes the volunteers aren't there. So if you can find some volunteers.
Point well taken, because
It's tough when you just don't have people to man it, because there's nobody to do the work.
my kids just were working the car show they had up there last weekend. You know, these are
I did
19,
ask my
18,
nephew
19-year-old
last night.
kids that they're depending on. But do you know what? You need those younger kids.
Yes, we need younger kids to get involved, definitely.
Before we
Okay.
move on, can I say one more thing?
No, absolutely not. You're done.
Everyone else has.
Yeah.
I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but I am sensitive to the fact that I think we are doing a little bit of, it's the term shadow boxing. No one in this, everyone in this room, and I include myself in that number, wants this event to succeed, wants other similar events to take place in the future, thinks it's a great idea, admires the passion of everyone in this room who is putting in their time and effort to plan this event. I'm ecstatic about it. Not everyone is, and I am sensitive to their concerns. And hello, Chad.
So,
You might as well go home.
And I just think that the best antidote to those concerns is to run a very good event, and to run it very safely, and to run it very successfully, and to sally forth. So good luck to all of us.
I will
But
say-
let's not forget that, you know, we are not a monolith. That's all.
that's all. Okay, moving on, let's go to parking lot. Do we have anything to discuss in the parking lot tonight? Welcome, Chad, how about you? Any parking lot stuff? No?
Oh,
No.
I just wanted to let you know that I've heard some, just around town, I've been hearing some awesome comments about the SWAC shop down there.
Thank you.
I meant to tell you that before, sorry.
Okay, I guess we're gonna move on to board roundtable.
Sam?
Yeah, I did hear a couple of things this week. One of which we already discussed, Joe, which was readdressing the crossing lights downtown. I know those are in progress, so thank you for following up on that, and I'll look forward to updates on that in future weeks. It was also brought to my attention that there might be a requirement on our part that we be keeping the exhibits from our board packets alongside our meeting notes, or meeting minutes rather, when they get filed. I have not followed up to confirm whether or not that's the case, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention if it hasn't already been, Joe, that that's something we may need to look at doing in future weeks. And is there something else? I'll try and recall before the end of the roundtable. But I will say, to second your thanks, Rose, that Michael, you will be sorely missed. Your voice is incredibly valuable to this board, and I hope you will continue to bring it to this board even if you are no longer a member, and to thank you for what you do for this town.
Thanks. I appreciate it. All right. Two things. I'm glad you're here too. So I'm sure, take a quick ride around town at any point and you probably notice that there's an excessive use of scooters and electric dirt bikes everywhere, on, off the sidewalk, cutting in front of traffic, you know, flipping people off, riding up and down sidewalks. I mean, right where I live, you know, I'm right at the end of 22A, beginning, however you want to look at it, and I've seen dirt bikes come off Airport Road, gas-powered ones, and buzz up 4th Street sidewalk. I've seen them in the middle of 22A, crossing back and forth road, scooters. I've seen electric dirt bikes going all over the place. You know, I don't know what we can do as a town, but it's something before somebody gets killed, hurt, whatever. You know, I think it's on the board, or, you know, we need to look at something to really address this. And I don't know, Chief, you know, I briefly talked to a state trooper and he said it's kind of a gray area because these electric bikes
fall under
right
regulations like a moped, some don't.
Right, and I was trying to look up like the classifications of like electric bikes and dirt bikes, and honestly, it was confusing. Like a dirt bike that's gas powered is very simple. They're not supposed to be on the roadway. Right, that's easy. But like these electric ones that do 50 miles an hour, how do you classify it?
It's based on the CCs, I think, right?
Well, they're electric, so they're not.
Yeah.
Or the equivalent, though.
Oh no! If you look up the classification between like that and a regular electric bike, it's I don't honestly, I couldn't really tell the difference. So I don't know. I think it's something that needs to be really looked into and addressed. You know, before somebody does, somebody's got to get hurt. Somebody's got to get run over.
Is there other towns and municipalities having issues like this, or?
I think it's just becoming everywhere.
It's just becoming a problem.
In popularity.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like what's electric bike is replacing what used to be a bicycle when we were kids. So now they're all getting them because instead of doing what we could do, now they're doing 20, 25 miles an hour on an electric bike, or they're buying one that looks like a dirt bike. It's probably the same thing as an electric bike, and they're operating around. I saw the one kid came right behind me and then shot between some houses, and he was gone before I could get turned around. It was right by your house the other day.
Yeah. And the scooters, the electric scooters, everywhere on the sidewalk.
I've had a couple crashes with them, so I'm going to try to push the staff. If you see it, try to address the kids. Like you need to follow the same regulations you do with bicycles. They're not just a free for all, ride up and down the middle of the road.
I think, you know, it is. It's becoming a bigger issue, and it needs to be addressed, I think. And then one more thing. For you, the people that don't know, I am resigning after tonight's meeting due to a change in career. I just want to thank the taxpayers and the voters of Fairhaven for the last year and a half. It's been awesome. It's been great to be a part of this board and be a part of this town. And I encourage anybody to step forward and fill my seat. You know. So thank you.
It's gonna be hard to replace.
Welcome. Well, sorry to see you go, Mike. That's what I have for tonight. And I also want to thank DPW for doing what they do on an everyday basis. They've been pretty busy lately. That being said, I'm just hoping that we can catch up on 2 or 3 of these outstanding projects before fall. Hopefully we can. How about you, Chad? Done anything?
Well, yeah, first, I'd echo what you said, Mike. It's going to be sad to see you step down. We understand. You know, it's important to focus on new career. We're going to miss your input on this board for sure. And I imagine something will draw you back here in the future, so that seems to be, I don't know, the curse of the select board member, is that we always, you know, see folks coming back all the time. But no, I wish you well. You know, one thing I'm excited about is just hearing kind of the buzz around the county about Fairhaven. And a lot of the chatter, if you will, that I'm hearing from folks who live outside of Fairhaven is that Fairhaven is kind of on the up and up and getting better, and folks are looking in and thinking, gee, how can we get out there? So that's some discussions that I've heard over the last few weeks, few months, and so it's exciting. I think we have a lot to be excited by, and I see a lot of opportunity in our future about it as well. So Nothing specific, just wanted to share my observations. That's all I had.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, can we, have a review of the financial reports?
Yes. Well, Chad, now that you're here,
I don't have
I
the information.
to you. I have them right here. Although I'm happy to do it myself, but this is usually your thing.
The exact figures. Here we go. I'll make a motion to approve the payroll warrant of $46,271.64.
I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the general warrant of $156,700.04.
I second that motion.
Second, I have a motion and a second to approve of the general warrant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the checking account stands at $1,080,766.48.
Do we have an executive session tonight?
How? Why are we not easy?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made to adjourn with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.